welcome to Hatha Flow. My name is Katherine. Today we're going to need a block, and you'll have the block on the long, just to the outside of the long edge of your mat. We're going to start in a wide child's pose. So come on down to the mat, taking your knees wide, feet together, and just if you do child's pose, wide-legged child's pose a lot and have to go really far, come in like an inch or so on either side. So you're not like in the widest wide child's pose you can get into. And then sit back, walking the hands forward, spread those fingers, have the elbows straight. So the arms are like you're in downward dog. Inhale, lengthening your heart away from your navel. Exhaling, releasing the head towards the floor. And now I'd like you to slightly activate your inner thighs. So you're not really going to move, but you're going to use the muscles that you would engage to draw the knees together. So the inner thighs are working a little bit here. You might come up a little bit. That's okay. Keep lengthening the spine. Keep slowly breathing in and out. Let's take one more breath here, pushing down with your hands into the floor. And then on the inhale, come on up. Come to hands and knees. Wrists are under shoulders, knees are under hips. For Chakravakasana, with an inhale, lifting your head and tail. Broad chest, exhale, round the spine, sit back to your heels, belly to thighs, chest to thighs, forehead to the floor. Inhaling, come on, back up through all fours, moving into a back bend, broad chest. Exhale, draw your tummy in, round the spine, elbows to the mat, release the chest to the thighs. Inhaling, coming up through all fours, broad chest, lifting head and tail. Let's do that twice more on your own, nice and slow. Slow that breath down. Drawing the tummy in strong as you round the back. And we'll meet with coming up on all fours. And then let's come on to our bellies. So coming down. Once you have your chest on the floor, start to walk your feet back towards the back edge of your mat till you're really nice and long in the spine. Gently drawing the tummy in, lengthening your tailbone towards your heels. Bring your arms alongside the body and your right cheek to the mat. We're going to do a variation of locust pose. With an inhale, lift your right leg, left arm sweeps out to the left and forward. Looking forward, exhale, head turns to the right, return to the floor, arms alongside the body. Inhale, left leg lifts, right arm sweeps out, and then forward as you gaze over the top edge of your mat. Exhaling, head turns to the left, right cheek to the mat, body to the floor. Inhale, right leg, left arm, nice and long in the spine. Exhale, head turns right, left cheek to the mat. Inhale, left leg, right arm, broad chest. Exhale, head turns away from that right arm as you return to the floor. Continue moving with your breath. One more inhale and exhale, returning to the floor. Take a moment here and just notice, are you relaxing into the floor? Do your best just to let go, releasing the muscles of the glutes, the back, the shoulders, the face. Feel free to turn your head any direction that feels comfortable for you to help you relax. And then we'll come into Sphinx pose. So prop yourself up onto your elbows. Forearms are parallel, lengthening your tail towards your heels, pressing those elbows down. They're directly underneath those shoulders. Spread the fingers wide, gazing forward. And then there's a gentle drawing in of your low belly here. If this feels like too big of a stretch in your low back, you can always take the elbows out a little bit further. You don't have to go up as high. We'll be here for about 2 or 3 more breaths. Stay here for one more inhale. As you exhale, return back to the floor, crocodile pose. Stack your palms, forehead to the palms. Take the feet wide, shimmy your hips once more. Let your belly expand and relax into the mat. Big belly breath in. Exhale out the mouth. Please take your time coming up into downward dog. Spreading your fingers really wide, pressing the base of each finger into the mat. Let your head hang, pressing those hands and feet equally into the mat. Okay, so the next instruction I give is going to be so you can kind of stretch the outside of the leg. So I'm going to have you bend your right knee stays bent. You're going to swing your left heel in towards center line of the body. And then you're going to land that left heel to the mat. So it's like your left foot is in a warrior one position, right? Like the back foot of the warrior one. And then from here, you're going to really lift the hip creases towards the sky. So now hopefully you're getting some sensation in the outer, maybe left hip. You might feel it in the outer left lower leg area, kind of the outside of the shin. You can even try to lift the left hip a little higher and kind of stack left hip over right. Looking under your left armpit. Let's take one more round of breath here. And then coming back through center. Second side, bend your left knee. Swing your right heel in and land the heel on the floor. Lift the hip creases straight up towards the sky, pressing through the arms. Maybe lifting that right hip crease a little higher than left. Looking under right armpit. Nice side stretch. You can get this up in the rib cage too, right side of the ribs. Soften your forehead. Take one more round of breath here. Good, and then come on back through center, downward dog. And then three-legged dog. Right leg back and up, inhale. Exhale, pigeon pose. Right knee comes forward. Now, this is an active pigeon, so the right knee is going to come forward. It's going to kind of, the inside of the right knee is just going to kiss your right wrist. So don't go like the widest you can go. I'm going to have you stay active. So the top of the back foot's on the floor. And now try to draw your knees together. And so like now you might come out of the pose a little bit, but you're drawing them together so much that you might even be able to stay here. You're using You're kind of asymmetrically stretching the inner thighs, the outer thighs a little bit. You're using the muscles while you're getting them stretched here. And you don't have to have your palms together in front of your heart if you don't want to. You can always just have the fingertips down. But stay active in the legs. Let's do one more round of breath here. And with an exhale, come back to downward dog. Left leg back and up with an inhale, three-legged dog. With an exhale, pigeon pose, second side. So left knee kisses the back of the inside of the left wrist, top of the back foot's on the floor. Walk your fingertips a little bit closer towards you and then squeeze the knees towards each other. Maybe bring the palms together in front of your heart. Keep drawing your tummy in. It takes quite a bit of openness in the psoas muscle on the right side here, or the front of the hip flexor. So we are just starting class, so please just go easy. I just want to kind of activate and stretch some of these legs before we start to get into the flow. Let's take one more round of breath here. When the exhale arrives, come back into downward dog. Take a round of breath here. Look between the hands, either hop or step into a forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Feel your breath. Okay, modified sun salutation. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, step your left foot back. High lunge, reach the arms up on the inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor, downward dog. Inhale, come forward to plank or hands and knees. Exhale, let's meet on the floor. Inhale, just a baby cobra. Tops the feet to the floor. Use your back muscles to come up, not the hands. Exhale, downward dog. Left leg back and up, inhale. Exhale, step left foot forward, high lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot back. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor, downward dog. Inhale, plank or hands and knees. Exhale, let's meet on our belly, preparing for a baby cobra. Inhale, lift. Exhale, moving back, downward dog. Right leg back and up, inhale. Exhale, high lunge. Inhale, lift those arms. Exhale, hands to the mat, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Palms overhead, exhale. Palms together in front of your heart. Take a round of breath. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, dive down, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, step your left foot back. This time, bring the left knee to the floor, into a low lunge. Arms reach up overhead. Let's stay here for 2 rounds of breath. Kick the back foot into the floor, right knees bent. So Anjaneyasana. Good. And then we're going to just move into an easy Parsvottanasana. So hands frame the front foot, tuck the back toe, hop the back foot forward until you just get a nice stretch behind the front leg. Both legs are now straight. If you need a block, go ahead and grab one here. We'll just be here for a few breaths, lifting the toes and spreading them. Lift those right toes and spread them as you press through the ball of that right foot. Good. Go ahead and step your right foot back to downward dog. Inhale, come forward to plank or hands and knees. Exhale, meet on your belly, preparing for a baby cobra on the inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg back and up. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Land your back knee, Anjaneyasana. Found my words this time. Square hips and shoulders towards the front of your mat. Lifting the heart, maybe bending that front knee as you kick the back foot into the floor. Nice. Parshvottanasana. Exhale, hands to the mat, tuck the back toe, hop that right foot forward as we straighten the front leg. Lift the toes of the front foot and spread them. So can really help engage the muscles of the legs, even though we're the left leg, even though we're stretching it. So press the ball of that left foot into the floor. And if you can't lift your toes here, even just kind of like thinking about lifting your toes, you can start to make those connections here to your feet. One more round of breath here. Step forward into a forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Take a round of breath. Let's go ahead and come into chair pose. Bend your knees and bend them so much that maybe you can even put your feet, your fingertips down on either side of your heels. That's how much you're bending them. And your rear's moving back. And then reaching the arms either forward or up, your choice. Feel your breath. Stay here for an inhale. Stay here for an exhale. The next inhale, reach up, stand up. And then exhale, forward fold. Gazing at the knees. Inhale, half forward fold, broad chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Okay, eagle. Let's start with the arms. And with any balancing pose, having your gaze somewhere resting, eye level in front of you is going to help with the balance. So let's start with the arms, right arm over left, and bringing either the backs of the hands together, or the palms together. Squeezing the elbows together and moving the shoulders away from each other, left and right. From here, have a seat and shift the weight of your body to your right foot. Crossing left thigh over right, squeeze those thighs. You might be able to hook that foot. Maybe you just leave it out, but do squeeze the thighs strongly. Another option too, if this feels a little unmanageable at this point in your morning or day, you can always just tap that top foot down, right? You can anchor it, so that's totally cool. Keep breathing. Good. And then keep the arms as they are. Let's go to warrior three. Extend the left leg back behind you. flexing the back foot. Feel your breath. Good, and then untangle the arms, land the back foot, high lunge, right knee bends, back heel is up, big breath in. Good, and then from here, I'd like you to bring your hands to your hips, and I want you to just pivot your feet towards the long edge of your mat, and then pivot opposite direction. So now you're in a high lunge facing the back of your mat, I guess. Interlace the fingers back behind you and lift the chest. Drawing your tummy in, lengthening your tailbone. And release the arms, hands on either side of the front foot. Land your back heel. So now your feet are in like a warrior two position. And I want to bring you to bring your hands to the inside of the left foot. So now your left knee is bent over left heel. Hope you can see this. Can you see that my left knee's bent over left heel, like so. My hands are on the inside of that left foot. So now we're just getting a little deeper into the hamstrings, the left hamstrings. Good, and then walk your hands to frame your left foot. So, and step back, downward dog. You're welcome to stay in downward dog or go through a vinyasa. Maybe you'd like to come up into a regular cobra this time, your choice. Straightening those arms, coming into a deeper back bend, maybe upward dog if that feels nice. But let's all meet down, back in downward dog. Look between the hands. Bend the knees, exhale, and hop forward into a forward fold. Inhale, coming up, reaching up, arms up overhead, palms together, exhale, palms at heart. Take a round of breath here. Eagle pose, second side. Let's take the left arm over right, squeezing elbows, either backs of hands together or palms together. Oh, another option too, if you're like, I can't do this with my arms, you could always just bring your hands to your shoulders, no problem. Squeeze those elbows, move your shoulders left and right. You're kind of running away from your heart to help broaden the tops of the shoulders. And then we'll bend those knees. Shift the weight onto your left foot, crossing right thigh tightly over left, maybe hooking that foot. Continue to rest your gaze on your point of focus, feeling your breath. Squeezing the thighs. Warrior three, untangle the legs. Right leg moves back behind you. As that back leg lifts, the chest dips. Now your back body is more on a horizontal plane. Untangle the arms, come into a high lunge. Front knee bends. One more inhale here. Exhale, hands to the hips. Pivot toes to the long edge of the mat, and then towards the first front side, okay? We're gonna bend that front knee. Now your right knee is bent over heel, back heels up. Oh, interlace the fingers behind you, lift the chest. One more inhale here. Exhale, release your bind. Hands come to the floor. Drop your back heel. That's your left one. So that your left toes are now kind of pointing towards the long edge of your mat. You're going to walk your hands to the inside of your front foot. Your right knee is bent still over that heel. So the feet are in this warrior two position, but the hands are on the floor. Let's take one more round of breath here. Good. Step back, downward dog. In this downward dog, glue your hands to the floor. So you're pressing through the base of each finger and the pad of each finger, but try to slide your arms away from each other. It's like, so you're once again engaging the muscles um, while they're being stretched. So you're sliding the arms kind of away from each other, but you're pushing the hands into the floor. So your hands aren't going to go anywhere, but you're engaging the muscles that would cause them to slide apart. Good. And then on an exhale, come on down to your belly. Bring your right cheek to the mat, arms alongside the body. Let's come back to that locust variation. With an inhale, lift your right leg, left arm reaches out and forward. Exhale, head turns right, left cheek to the mat. Inhale, left leg lifts, right arm. Exhale, right cheek to the mat. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Exhale, left cheek. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, right cheek to the mat. Once more on either side. Good, and then place your hands on the mat. Come on up through hands and knees. Okay, so grab your block and step your right foot forward. I'm gonna come into a variation of Anjaneyasana. The back knee is down, and I'd like your block to be on the right side of your mat. Okay, so your left knee is on the floor, block's on the right side of the mat. Kick the back foot into the floor, and inhale, lift your left arm up. And then from here, you're gonna press your hand into the block and side bend to your right. So see if you can, maybe I'll turn so you can maybe see. I've got my block on the floor and I'm side bending away from the left side. So the left side body's getting a nice stretch. And I'm pressing down into the block to help kind of create a maybe more satisfying arc to the right. Now, I have my block on the highest setting. You might have yours lower, or maybe you even can bring your fingertips to the floor. That's great too. Let's take a couple more breaths here, lengthening the left side body or opening up the front of the left hip as well. Good, and then come on up. Okay, move your block off to the side. And come both knees, actually come on down onto your rear. Come down onto your rear. And I'd like you to come into Janushirshasana with your left leg forward. Janushirshasana, left leg forward. Good. And inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, bringing the hands wherever they land. You want to orient your heart, your navel, your gaze towards the big toe as you inhale. And then as you exhale, gazing at the knee. And now I'd like you to keep the left foot flexed, but try to dig that left heel into the floor. So we're stretching the left hamstring, but we're also engaging it slightly to help dig it into the floor. So nothing externally really you're going to see is happening, maybe shaking, that might happen, but we want to engage the leg as we're stretching it for this variation of Janu Shirshasana. Good. And then inhale, come on up, and you can release the engagement of the leg. And then I'd like you to kind of open up to the long edge of your mat now. We're going to take it to the side. So left hand comes to the shin or the inside of the left leg, and right arm is going to come up. But instead of just coming over, kind of creating an arc with the right side of your body, I want you to reach your right arm kind of on diagonal, like the fingertips are kind of reaching towards where the ceiling and the left wall meets. Reaching, reaching, reaching. So there's a little bit more of a quality of a rising up than kind of arcing towards the floor. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Right, and then we're gonna get a little bit funky here. The bottom arm, that's your left one. I'd like you to bring it to the outside of your waist, on your right waist, right? We're kind of moving in that direction. You might even be able to hook your hands in your pants. And then your top arm, you're gonna swing it out to the side, out to the right, and then down and grab a hold of the left shin. From here, you can let your top shoulder, that's your right one, you could let it drop down a little bit as you gaze at your left knee until you start to feel a stretch. You might start to feel it. I feel this in my QL on the right side. We're getting a little deeper into the right side body here. I'm feeling it in like my intercostals, the little muscles between uh, the rib cage. Take one more round of breath. When you inhale, come on back up. Good. Let's bring both the soles of the feet together for cobbler's pose just for a moment, drawing the heels as close to the groin as feels available. Okay, great. And then help those knees together. We'll come up through hands and knees, preparing for the second side. So we'll have the right knee down, left foot forward. This is like a super graceful flow, I know, right? So we're in Anjaneyasana. Now you're gonna have the block on the left side of the mat. Keep the back foot into that floor. Right arm lifts up. And then side bend off to the left. And very subtly, try to draw in your low belly, this area below the navel. Draw it in just a little bit to help stabilize the pelvis as you get a nice stretch through the psoas, the outer right hip, outer right side of the trunk. Pressing down into that block to help arc over to the left. Take one more breath. And inhale and come on back up. Okay, let's meet on our bottoms with the right leg kicking forward. Janu Shirshasana. So we're squaring towards that right foot. Keep it flexed. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, fold. Pause here for a moment as you lengthen your spine. Inhale, lifting heart from navel, gazing towards the toes for a moment, reaching the heart that direction. And then with the following exhale, let the head, the gaze drop towards that right knee. And then start to dig the right heel into the floor for this variation of Janu Shirshasana. Just a little bit more engagement in those hamstrings as we stretch them. And if that means like you can't go as far or as deep in the stretch, that's okay, because we're doing this in a little different way, just to give our hamstrings like a variation of activity. Like we're stretching them and we're engaging them at the same time. Good. And then inhale and come on back up. Now we'll open it up here, preparing for the side bend. So the left knee is more kind of than a right angle away from the right knee. We're opening it up here. And right hand to the floor in front of the shin, or maybe to the shin or the foot, wherever works for you. But left arm is going to reach kind of nice, strong angle here from your hip towards the place where the ceiling and the and the wall meet. I was going to say the ceiling and the floor meet. Good luck with that. Where's the ceiling and the floor meet? And as we pause here, just breathing, just notice what you're doing with your head. Like, I know for me, sometimes when I'm feeling a lot of sensation in different areas of my body, some of the areas maybe that aren't getting worked, like some weird stuff can happen. Like, I don't know, like maybe my head jets forward or kind of cramps off to one side. Just notice and see if you can kind of keep some balance, some ease in the neck while you're here. We'll take about one more round of breath. Good. And then here's where it's going to get a little weird. The bottom arm, the right hand, you're going to bring it to the outside of the opposite waist. So that's your left one, right? And then your top arm, you're going to swing it out to the left, circle it around, down towards the floor, boom, and then grab that leg. And then from here, your top shoulder, that's your left one, you can let it drop down a little bit as you gaze at the right knee. Really nice stretch in those intercostals, in the QL. And see, even in this position, can you allow your breath to stay spacious? One more breath in here. One more breath out. And then with an inhale, slowly come on back up. Cobbler's pose, Baddha Konasana. And then we're going to keep the legs wide. And you're welcome to sit up on a blanket if your hamstrings still feel pretty tight. You would know that because you'd be rounding in your back right now excessively. And then from here, you can stay seated, drawing your heels down into the floor. Again, we're actively we're stretching the hamstrings and we're activating them. So we're slightly digging those heels down. Or some of you may find walking the hands forward really is what feels most satisfying, most healthy for your body. We'll be here for about 5 breaths. Kneeling, coming back up. Slide your hands underneath the knees and help them bend, coming back towards each other. Let's come onto our back. Knees bent, feet on the floor. And just notice the shape of your spine right now, the weight of your pelvis. Let's take this into a twist. Knees are going to come into the chest and then they're going to come over to the right. Just a simple twist. And extending your left arm off to the left. Right hand can rest on top of the thighs here. Second side, come on back through center. Take one more round of breath on this side. And then come on back up. Feet to the mat. Take the feet just slightly wider than hips width distance apart. Knees bent. We're going to do a variation of bridge just with the feet a little bit wider, just to engage the butt. Arms are alongside the body. Slowly lift the hips, gazing at the ceiling. And then find the edges of your mat and try to rip the mat apart underneath you as you flatten the shoulder blades on the back and kind of walk the shoulders away from the ears. Please keep your gaze on the ceiling the entire time that the hips are in the air. Let's stay here for another round of breath. And then slowly releasing the rear to the floor. Take the feet as wide as the mat. Let the knees fall in together. Lengthen your tailbone towards the short edge of your mat, away from your head. And then bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your like mid ribs. And let everything soften. So we'll just practice a little bit of intentional breathing here. Inviting your entire trunk to soften, your face. And with a nice slow inhale, expand your belly. The exhale, feel it naturally come back towards the center line of the body. Let's do that again. Inhaling, belly expands. Maybe even feel your low back expand. And slow exhale. Now this time I want you to inhale into your belly and then mid ribs. Exhaling, mid ribs come through center. Belly comes into center. Again, inhale, belly. Mid ribs expand. The circumference of your mid ribs expands. Exhale, draw ribs, belly back towards center. Now let's see if we can move it up to the heart area. Inhale, belly, mid ribs, heart. Exhale, heart. mid ribs, belly. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, belly, circumference of your mid ribs and your heart area. Exhale, heart, mid ribs, last belly. And then let's see if we can bring it all up to the collarbones. Inhale, belly, mid ribs, heart, collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, heart, ribs, belly. Again, inhale, belly, ribs, heart, collarbone. Exhale, collarbone, heart, ribs, belly. And then one more time, doing it all, inflating yourself from the belly up, deflating from the collarbones down. Good. And then extending your legs long, arms alongside the body, backs of the hands to the floor. As you flatten those shoulder blades, just notice any effects of the intentional breathing that we just did. And so now would be a great time to meditate. If you'd like to do that, you could sit up and meditate for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then, or please stay here and just really enjoy this time of relaxation, this time to let your body, heart, and mind really just digest all the movements we've done today. Shavasana. Deepening your breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. If you're in Shavasana or meditation, you're welcome to take a big morning stretch. And then if you're on the floor, go ahead and roll to one side and take your time coming up to a comfortable seat of your choice. We'll meet with our palms together in front of our heart, taking a few moments just to check in, noticing how you're feeling. If you're experiencing any pleasant sensations in your body, heart, or mind right now, I'd like you to think of someone you'd like to send this kindness to. Imagine you could multiply it and send it out. Who would you give it to? Maybe someone who could use a little bit of spaciousness or joy or pleasure in their life. See them clearly wherever they may be in their day. And then we'll send this out with an exhale. Take a big breath in, send it out. We'll see them where they are in their day now. See them smiling, feeling good. Thanks a lot for practicing today. Namaste.